It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you because that's New Orleans. And this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar. Today we're at the fabulous Wayfare on Ferret Street. If you're wondering where that is, it's on right near Napoleon Avenue, across the street from the European Wax Centre. Zach, have you ever been to the European Wax Centre?
No, I haven't.
Turn around, look out the window. There it is. If you need it, if you need anything waxed off of you, I believe that would be the place to go.
I'm thinking my thighs.
You like to wax your thighs?
Yeah.
What's on them currently?
Mostly hair, but there's other things too. There's like a peppermint from when I was 7, like stuck in. Yeah.
I think they'll be able to wax that out.
Wow.
I think so. Wax is kind of like an, it's an answer to everything.
Yeah. I don't know how much it costs to get other stuff waxed off other than hair, but we could call up actually and find out. Zach is the singer and songwriter in the Pears, the band called the Pears.
Yes. My bandmates had more important things to do today.
What are those other three guys doing exactly?
One of them lives in Philly, our drummer. And
that
the
makes it a little difficult to get here.
Oh, we don't even practice anymore. We just tour so much, and then the other two are working. Our bass player is making pizza, and our guitarist is going to the doctor.
Really? Making pizza as a job or just at home?
I wish I could just say at home. Like, I can't come. I'm making
pizza.
No, it's a job.
He's working as a pizza maker. April Stolf is here. Hi, April.
Hi, Grant.
April, what do you actually do? You work at the Chatterbox in Metairie and you teach meditation. Do I have that correct?
I do. I teach yoga and I do NLP life coaching.
Oh, awesome.
NLP life coaching.
Yes.
NLP, Neuro
Linguistic Programming.
Right. What does that mean exactly?
Neuro-linguistic programming.
Just means that.
Neurons are in your body, and then linguistics is the language that you use. So it may be the language that you talk to yourself with.
Neurons are your body. Is that what you said?
In your body.
In your body.
In our inside.
Unable to be waxed, I assume.
You can be waxed, and you'll feel all those little neurons inside of you.
What is a neuron? Is a neuron a nerve? Isn't it what we call
your nervous system?
Aren't neurons, what are they? Matthew Snyder is here too. Matthew, you're an intellectual, aren't you? An academic of some sort?
No, pseudo.
Pseudo-intellectual. Do you know what a neuron is?
Yeah. No, neurons, it's basically your nervous system. Those are the things that fire to get things moving in your brain.
So it's nerves.
Throughout. Yeah.
So we call them nerves.
More or less.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
nerves.
Okay. And Kat Todd is here too.
Hello,
Hey,
Grant.
Kat, how are you going?
I'm wonderful.
How are your nerves? Shot to hell?
My nerves are feeling much better after this cocktail. Thank
What are you drinking?
Yeah.
Halfway done already.
And it's half price. Well, it's free for you actually.
It's
that
wonderful.
One. What are you drinking?
What am I drinking?
It looks like water.
The standard vodka soda, delicious.
Vodka soda. That's a real drink of an alcoholic.
Oh, alcoholics go to meetings.
Are you drinking that too, Matthew?
Yeah.
Vodka, straight up vodka. That's
Vodka soda.
soda. That's as good as straight up. A little bit. What are you drinking, Matthew?
I've got the Rocks and Toddy is what it's called on the menu.
What does that mean?
Bourbon and ginger. It had me at bourbon and ginger.
That sounds good too.
Same.
April, you've got the same thing.
Same. Love that.
And I heard you ordering this drink.
beer.
Zach. Cheap beer.
That's it.
You come here, it's absolutely free, you know.
I know that.
The bar's paying for it.
I have a
And you
taste for cheap
ordered
beer,
a
preferably
a
room
Budweiser.
temperature or warmer.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that because you're a punk or you just have bad taste?
Well, probably because lifestyle choices.
Or all of the above.
But wake up, go to the car, get the beer that you left there last night, drink it.
So you've
what
developed a taste.
Leave no
for
man
it.
behind, man.
That's
good.
exactly
You got
right.
to recover your fallen
That's exactly
soldiers
right.
there. Yeah.
I care. That's it.
That's good.
Okay, so linguistic is the language.
Yes.
Okay, that's what we got up to. NLP. Linguistic is language. So what is that?
And
so what's
programming is how you may your brain is like a computer. So the way that you speak to yourself, and always with the nervous system that you have, is going to reprogram your mind as well.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think about that a lot, actually. And I mean, I've tackled, rewriting the internal monologue, like the script that you tell yourself every day. Mine is really, really bad.
No, it sounds great.
No,
right now.
well, sure. I mean, like, I have aspirations to be
yours
better.
is really good, is what you should say, or it's excellent, or extraordinary.
Oh no,
And now
my script
it's
is bad, but I'm working on it. I am working on it.
What is the current script that you're telling yourself over and over?
Oh, I'm
a loser.
Yeah, just the cliche
hopeless.
shit
I'm good
that
enough.
like
I'm
everybody.
I'm not good enough.
That's right,
Gosh,
Kat.
yeah.
I did a bad job, like all that stuff. Yeah.
Sure.
I left a few
I
fallen
failed.
soldiers in the car
Shoot, why
last
didn't I do
night, and
this
they're
right?
getting
Like
warm
that
in there.
stuff?
Got to go get them
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Well, where do you get the idea that you're a loser and hopeless from in the first place?
Oh man. I mean, probably from when I was 6, and the kids kicked over my crayons all the time.
Why?
Oh, man.
Because I didn't want to play basketball.
Why
you
do
know?
they take it out on the crayons? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, like,
Yeah, that's
why not just kick you?
Crayons
I
in
mean,
basketball.
well, I mean, I'm not gonna jump on board with that.
Yeah.
I got kicked plenty enough.
So the other kids were playing basketball.
Yeah.
And you wanted to play with your crayons. Mm-hmm. So they came and kicked your crayons. And what were you doing with the crayons? Painting? Drawing?
Drawing, not painting.
Right.
But
And
yes.
how old were you at this point?
I guess I was 6, 7.
And what age are you supposed to put the crayons down and play basketball?
Never.
For normal.
Never. I agree,
Never.
100%.
We should never tell a kid that he's supposed to do anything of the
Right.
sort.
Right.
Kicking over,
So
even
do you know-
6-year-olds kicking over crayons, man. That's wrong.
Breaking
what
news.
Philistines, man? That's
Well, right?
totally.
We can draw
yeah.
a picture of that with the crayons.
Yeah.
So there's breaking
Yeah.
news about
Yeah.
crayons. I don't know if you guys
Sadly,
have heard.
sadly,
you have
I
to really,
don't.
You've got to
There's
shout.
breaking news about crayons.
This is
Yes.
cat talk.
Breaking.
Yes.
They have the standard 24 crayon box.
Whoops, just meant.
They're removing a color.
Which one?
I don't know.
What
that
do
was
you
the
mean?
breaking
Why?
news. That was the
Really?
teaser. I
So
never got the
20
punchline.
Well, come on. We've got
We gotta look it up.
Somebody's going to look that up right now.
They just decide one color doesn't make
One
the cut
color.
anymore.
That's
anymore.
right.
Graham, this
Like,
is
like,
Graham
like, like what they
DePonte.
did with Pluto a few years ago. It's like, you're not a planet
Well, they
anymore.
declared
you're
that to be
done.
not a planet. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
but now
Yeah.
he's back. I guess Pluto's back.
Oh, really? They've
maybe
reinstated
Pluto's
it?
Pluto's back in the band.
In the
Yeah,
24 pack.
yes.
They might be
What?
getting
So,
rid of.
yes.
They might be getting rid of
Planetoid
skin
something.
color.
I mean,
The Indian
I kind of
red.
think it's more fun to
Is
guess
that
which
what?
color.
I
Maybe
think it's Indian red.
It's probably something like that.
I
It's
think it's
probably
like
some sort of
Because
like,
skin
you know,
color-
racist.
Right.
It's like a racial
Yeah, anachronistic
color. Yeah.
title for a color.
Is
Someone
there a
said
color
that
in
it
the
was-
crayon box called skin?
Indian red, I
Indian
think.
red?
Indian red is
Yeah.
okay, isn't it? Oh, because of red Indians. I mean, Indian red is a famous Mardi Gras Indian song.
Yes, it
right?
is.
Yeah.
I can't imagine
It could be
getting
from
rid
the
of that.
song, but they call it that.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Okay, Kat, where did you hear this news from? You're in
Google.
the art business. Kat
Oh,
is
of
in the art
course.
business.
In my local radio station. In the
On
car on the way to
NPR.
work.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So Kat has an art dealing company called Ware Yacht. Is
That's
that how
right.
you pronounce it? I always hate
Way
saying
yacht.
it.
Way
Way
yacht.
yacht.
Yeah, way yacht.
yacht.
That my
Yeah.
yacht
Yeah.
scent comes out
Yeah.
after I've had a
So you
half
know a little
cocktail.
bit about art and crayons.
I know a little bit about art. I graduated from Auburn with the BFA, but I didn't get a curatorial background or anything like that.
BFA.
So, yeah,
Okay, what does it say here? Read this. Graham DePonte, the world's greatest producer, says.
Dandelion
Dandelion.
crayon.
Dandelion.
Yeah, dandelion.
Okay, everybody.
I've always
Nothing
found.
said.
I should have used my phone a friend.
I've always found dandelion racist as shit.
Really?
Actually,
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
So it's like-
Lilies are mad.
What color-
Daisies are mad.
It's probably on the action plans of Lee Atwater and the Southern Strategy back in the day. All right, we're going to start sneaking Lord Dandelion in there. And this is how we peel off.
I have to
those
write that
disaffected
down. Dandelion. What would be wrong with
working
dandelion?
class guys.
What do you think?
I doubt anything's
What
wrong
color
with
is
it.
that? Yellow?
I don't know. I mean, a
thought it was like an
dandelion is a
orangish
flower.
yellow.
It's a yellow
Yeah,
color.
it's-
I
mean, you
it's somewhere
remember
between
when-
the
It's a-
orange and yellow scale.
It's a wish flower. Isn't
It's a
it?
flower
It's a
that
wish
you
flower.
find, and it looks like a cotton ball.
Isn't the one
It's
that
a
Oh, it's
flower
that
that you
thing.
find. It looks like a cotton
And you
ball,
blow it
and
and
you
all the-
blow it. I mean, what could be wrong with that? I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Well, do you remember when they switched the
Phone a
green
friend,
Skittle?
yes.
You
They
remember
don't
when
want
the
to
green
make
Skittle
wishes
became green
anymore.
apple instead of lime? I don't know if there was really any reason.
You know, it's got
Probably
us.
market research. And
I was just going to
Who
say the
knows?
same thing.
They
It's
probably
got
have
us.
a
It's got
breaking
us
new
talking
color.
about crayons.
That
Yeah.
is.
And the green Skittle
Wow.
probably got us talking
Yeah,
about
the
Skittles, and
Wow.
you're still talking about it.
brilliant.
Yeah, it's genius, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they sucker us in by making us talk
Or maybe
about
they're
it.
just thinking, the Margaret Research kids just aren't blowing on dandelions anymore.
Well,
so
it's good that
off
it's
it goes.
it's good that it's got us
Now we
talking
need,
about
wishing is-
now we need
crayons.
Pokemon
Wishing
yellow
is
in its
really the
place
good
or
part.
something.
Or
No more wishes. What happened to wishing? Like, you
Wishing.
wish.
I wish all
like
the time.
Oh, that was a dandelion
It's like a
thing.
manifestation. You have to create create a wish and you dream big, and they want to take away our dreams from like dandelions. That's really sad.
I don't think there's anything in the law that's going to stop you blowing on a dandelion.
You've got a heavy interpretation of this, and I like it.
No, I'm with you.
Well,
Yeah,
I want to say, I'm
there's some
glad.
dark undercurrent to this decision making here.
I'm glad that it's got us talking about crayons. Honestly,
they're DOA.
The fact is that I feel
Let's
pretty
just pull it from the
intellectually
box and
dwarfed
not
from the
build
people that I'm
false
around. So
expectations.
crayons is like my speed, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had a phobia or a thing about crayons ever since the kids used to kick them?
No.
That you just thought of it today. It's not like you're going. This
Yeah,
is not
I
part
mean-
of your script that's going over in your head.
No.
The crayons.
The script doesn't mention the crayons, but I mean,
Okay.
it's just an early example of just like I don't know,
Well, you can blow
I was
it
a
away.
weird kid.
You can blow it away like the dandelion
That's
now
exactly
because
right.
it's gone. Let it
It's
go.
gone.
Right.
Poof.
Like that's my
Well-
yoga inspiration for you. Let it go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right on.
Well, that's easy to say. That's like telling someone chin up. You know, oh, don't be depressed. Just that doesn't work, April. That does not work, surely, does it?
doesn't.
What is the Neuro
There's some
Linguistic Programming approach to someone who has the bad self-image?
It'll turn it into a
but
more
what-
positive.
but yes, I understand that, but
self-image.
what is it? How do you do it?
We'll create possibly a circle of excellence in the beginning for people. So it's like, okay, well, what's your favorite color? Perhaps.
Dandelion.
Dandelion.
Definitely. Okay.
Glad we got that.
Yeah.
We all love
Dandelion,
dandelion.
yeah.
So in
We're all
that,
on the same page.
Yeah.
in that
Okay.
circle,
What just happened to Dandelion?
that
Man,
circle
yeah,
of
someone's
dandelion.
gotta fight for this guy.
Let's throw in all those things that you might want to have in your most powerful self. So what might that be?
A dandelion-colored crayon. Because that's
And-
got to be worth something.
But that's the color of your circle.
Oh, so
so now
that's-
let's just put some
Put something-
characteristics in there, like maybe some courage.
Courage.
perhaps. Let's throw in some passion.
Yes, okay.
Let's throw in some
I
energy.
understand what you're saying. I
Let's
mean, like-
throw in some confidence. Let's throw
Okay.
in some
Money.
love, maybe some money.
Excellent idea.
like put
I
all that
understand.
good
I
stuff.
understand what you're saying. Like, one of the most important things about what I'm trying to do right now, I mean, in my personal life, is become more of the person that I wish to be every day. You know, I mean, closer
Perfect.
to the version of myself that I want to be, whatever that might mean. I mean, if that's something arbitrary or if that's something important.
Exactly.
Either way, I really appreciate what you do. That's really cool. That's really cool.
Do you
So what
have-
would you like to
It's
put in
building
your
a-
dandelion circle?
What would I like to put in my dandelion circle? I don't know. Does it have to be dandelion?
No,
Or
you
okay.
can make it
well, anyway,
however
the
you
color,
want.
color relevant. I guess. I
What
would
color
like,
would you like to go back to?
I don't know. I don't. Purple. I like purple.
Okay.
But I think that one of the things is, I want to go places without being afraid of going places and seeing people. Because that's kind of something that's controlled me for a long time.
Social
like
anxiety.
social anxiety. And it's okay that I'm not like a social person, and that I don't like going out very often. But I don't want to not go somewhere because I'm afraid. If that
Right.
makes sense.
Fear.
What are you afraid of?
I don't know. I don't know. I think humiliation. I mean, isn't everybody afraid of that?
So what would it look like if you weren't afraid?
You would be a baller, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Baller.
I don't know. What it would look like if I wasn't
It's on the
afraid.
fear to baller scale.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
on
I'm
one
not
end or
sure.
the other. Yeah.
I mean, that's.
think
So what would it feel like if you weren't afraid?
Oh, I wouldn't feel afraid. I mean,
So let's go back to a moment in your life when you weren't afraid.
Wow.
wow, we're doing
right.
this.
Might want to take a
Therapy.
sip there before you go.
I've got to interrupt here because we've got to put this in context, Zach.
Yeah.
We have to put this in some sort of context, and I think the best way to do that is to play a song.
Oh, great.
Did you write this song as well as sing it?
It depends on what song. We
Let's
ping
take
pong
it-
writing music. I write the lyrics.
Oh, you wrote the lyrics to the song. Okay, so I thought it would be good to hear something off the new album called Green Star, which is the title song of the album, Green
Yes.
Star. Do we have that lined up, Thomas? Okay. So I want you to listen to this song, you guys, and keep in mind that this is a guy who's scared to leave the house and confront people. Correct?
You seem to be doing
correct.
very well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
In
listen.
front of people you've met
You're
at a
crushing
bar.
it, man. Yeah.
Cheap beer.
Listen to this.
I call it my personality.
Yeah.
In the sun, don't hold me to sleep in the trap. I dream of you and then I dream of something else. I was hoping for so much more. You tell me things I have failed once again. The kiss that I cannot
Nice guy.
Green Day vibe.
Love that.
Yes.
Like a Green Day vibe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If Green Day were
I felt
really
that
a
too.
great band,
It
then
is
I'd love to
great.
have a
Early
bunch
stuff.
of
You
high
hear that
stuff.
all the
Are you the
time.
lead singer?
Yeah,
Are
1,000 light
you?
years
What
away,
is your
that's
position
cool.
in the band?
I am the singer.
He's the
Very
guy
nice.
singing
Yeah,
that
songwriter,
out
yeah.
front of the band
Very nice.
with a microphone, singing that.
No shirt, throwing a
Outrageous.
tantrum. Yeah,
Right.
it's a
The
really,
front-
it's a
front-
really
I think the
physical
industry
job.
calls it the front man, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So who would have thought that you were actually a scared little baby inside of it?
Yeah.
Is
Well,
that
I
what you
think-
feel like when you're singing that?
No, and I think that that's what a lot of what draws me to that sort of performance. I mean, like, it would have been very easy to be a different kind of frontman, but I went like really theatrical, you know. And I think there's a reason to that. I think that that's like my answer to feeling
Well,
powerless.
I really think that people in New Orleans have double lives.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're,
Oh,
they're
most
the person
definitely.
that most their people know,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
there's the
real
inner,
people.
their inner
people that they
Batman,
present
so
to
to
the
speak.
world. And I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that
yeah.
so many times, you know, you're in costume. I mean, I think that's why costuming is so big here. You know, I mean, it's because
So how do you think people perceive you?
well, I don't know.
Well, what's
I mean, I think that
I need a drink.
I mean.
everybody needs another round?
Let's
I'm gonna go
get
get
off
a
the
drink.
drinking,
No,
or I
go
think
for
my
it.
mom is going to be worried.
let's
She's
see if we
listening
can
now.
Wait.
I think that
We can
people.
get someone to get you a drink.
Fantastic.
Well, I think that
Maybe Grayson can hop up and get you a drink. Would you like to? Is that possible? Can
You
you
wanna
can
get
you
me
get
a
another round of drinks for everybody?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Grayson's busy doing a Facebook live feed, but I think we can drag him away for one sec. Okay,
Some
what do we need?
Budweiser.
Kate,
it's not
Kate.
an emergency.
great.
It's
Thank
not
you.
an emergency.
It is an emergency.
is.
Don't
It's
speak
really
for
not.
me.
Why don't we get-
It is an emergency.
Maybe we need to get you 2 beers.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
two
2 beers.
fisting
One
there?
can
Two
get hot.
Budweisers. Make that two.
One
That
can
would
get
be
the way you like it, warm. Like one can get warm.
heated.
Yeah.
Put it in
Go
the
leave it,
microwave
leave it in the
for
back
a
of the
half
car
hour.
for a bit. Or, yeah,
That's it.
There it is. Yeah.
So, Kat, what is the real you like that people don't see?
I think I'm very fun. I think honestly,
Fun.
I'm super fun.
You don't
I'm
come across as being a fun person.
great time to take. I'm real fun. I'm real fun at shows. Oh yeah, you take me to a live music
But
show.
this is what you really like, or
This is what
the-
I'm really.
This is what you're
this is
projecting.
what- This is what I'm really like. I dance around my kitchen.
But
You
what-
know.
so what do you like when
with
you
the
go out?
dogs? Same.
How many dogs have you got?
Same. I've got 3.
God,
It's the wild
wow.
kingdom over at my house.
What,
Wow.
What are their
Yeah.
names?
Yeah, Bucket, Poncho, and Ming.
Bucket Poncho and
Those are
Ming.
awesome
Yes,
dog
love
names.
it.
Awesome.
Really good
I
dog
love it.
names.
Yeah.
You know, I thought of a
Ming,
great
yeah.
dog name the other day, and I swear if I ever get another animal, Famous Painter.
Yeah.
That'll just be the dog's name.
Famous.
Famous Painter.
Famous
Is it
painter.
like a
Pretty
Mad
young.
Lib? Like,
Yeah.
do you just insert whatever you want into the? He thinks I'm funny over there.
I think people call their kids those kind of fucked up names as well, thinking that.
Yeah, like Apple.
I think it's a funny idea somehow at the time.
Northwest or something.
Right.
Near West, yeah, really? Yeah. That's
You have
right.
2 kids, right,
I
Matthew?
do. Yeah,
What
I
are their
got 2
names?
kids. Jack and Ava. So,
Jack and Ava.
Yeah, so nothing
They're
as
nice.
exotic or avant-garde as
Poncho
a
or
cardinal
Ming.
direction or something
dogs
like that.
in
Yeah,
Ava's good though.
yeah.
Ava's
like I like that one.
It's
Yeah.
easy to spell. Is it AVA?
EVA,
EVA.
actually. Yeah, so
Okay.
my wife's from Spain, so that was, we went with the
But that's
Latino
it's
version.
pronounced Eva. in
Eva,
Spain.
yeah,
Okay,
Eva.
even.
Well, that's
okay.
totally not run of the mill.
So-
You're underselling.
Am I underselling?
You are underselling.
Okay.
It is
okay.
to a dog.
Yeah,
a
it
dog.
Ava
A dog
would be a
name,
nice
Eva?
name for a dog.
Like a dog might think, "What's Ava?" Instead
Yeah.
of it being like Ming or Poncho.
Oh, yes.
They're like,
But it
"What
is-
is this human name? What's Ava?"
Do you think a dog thinks
yeah.
what's anything?
Perhaps. Who
I
knows
know.
what dogs think? Except food, maybe.
Food. The
They might
mind
want
of the dog.
food.
Yeah. Food, scratch,
How old?
outside.
How old?
Pet me.
Ava.
Pet me,
How
scratch.
old are you kids?
In inconsequential order. Yeah. My kids are 5 and 3, and one just turned 6, and the younger one, the daughter Eva, will turn 4 here in a couple of weeks.
Okay,
Yeah. So they're right at 2 years apart.
that's pretty good. And they're born. Where were they born? Here.
They're born here at Toro. Yeah. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where
Stork
babies
dropped
come
them off,
from.
and where babies come
Okay.
from. That's right.
And
Yeah.
how messed up would you say they are by now?
On a scale of 1 to 10,
Yeah, are
1
they all
being like Jesus, 10 being Trump. Yeah. So,
Okay.
-3, man. Yeah, they're
They haven't-
gems.
That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
Well,
yeah. They're,
how old
they're
How old do we have to get before we start getting messed up? Like you were 6, Zach, before the crayon incident.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
were you normal
man,
before
I
then?
think, yeah. I
Oh,
don't-
there was,
yeah.
but there was a slew of stuff
That's-
for me. I'm like the perfect storm of like
There's a long
weirdo.
line of-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
The crayons is a light
a
radio
symbol.
friendly.
Yeah, it's the
you know.
What, did you have
That's
dysfunctional
the AM
parents? or
version.
Yeah, it's a dysfunctional
the whole
life.
thing.
friend.
Where were you? Here in New Orleans?
Yes. If that explains anything, yes.
We are all dysfunctional.
Yeah, yeah,
We're
we kinda-
functionally dysfunctional.
Functionally
It's
dysfunctional.
perfect. Yeah.
Those are my favorite kind of people.
Yes.
Me
yes.
too.
Gonna be-
The functionally
gonna be-
dysfunctional?
Yeah.
The spirited ones.
Yeah.
Well,
they have
it's-
those 2 personalities, like you said.
I wouldn't call it 2 personalities. It's just your
Well,
double.
you-
It's your double life.
It is a
So
double.
is one of them a secret?
It's just. It was just your spirit animal and being
Okay.
unleashed. I think
But you
it's
think-
all inside of you, but it's just a little more colorful.
But people do have 2 separate, completely.
In New Orleans, I think
things
especially.
Here. Yeah, that's what I mean. Here, especially here, you can do that though. In other places, you're regarded as some sort of a weirdo or a fabulist, you know.
And I
or-
think that
Right,
New Orleans
right,
people
right.
embrace
Streamer.
that. That's what's so special about
Yeah,
this
yeah.
place.
Yeah, no one thinks it's
Kind of let people
strange.
release their id a bit more.
Yeah,
in this
you can
town.
be
Yeah,
anything. I mean, you can be a professor of political science and work in a wine shop here,
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
for example, like
Right,
some
right.
people are at this table.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's so
wear a
interesting
couple
about New
different
Orleans
hats,
people.
so-
I think I know the people that I know from music, the people that I know from art. I know about what they love and their families and who they are. You know, before I even know what they do for a living.
Well, that's very common here. Though,
Very
isn't it?
common,
Or you go
yeah.
to Tipitina's and you see the band, and
Yeah.
someone in the band is your dentist or something.
But I've seen
Right.
him for. But I've seen. But,
Totally.
but
Wow, I
no, no.
didn't
But
know
I've
that
seen him
guy
for.
could
You
do
know, I've
that.
seen him for 10
Absolutely.
years.
Yeah.
Isn't
You
it
know, I
beautiful?
see them over and over again. You know, the same group of people.
I love
Yeah.
that here.
Nobody asks you what you do here.
No, nobody
Such
asks
a
you what you
big
do.
heart. But they always ask where you went to high school.
Well, that's
This
more
is true.
important.
High
Yeah.
school.
Did you go to high school
Very
here,
New
Kat?
Orleans.
I just
yeah.
had my 20-year high school reunion. Yes,
So
which
you-
was
So
So did I. So did
Awesome.
I.
which
Yeah.
was
Did you?
surprisingly
I did
civil.
as well.
Did you guys go to the same high school?
We did not.
We didn't know
Yeah.
we don't know each other.
Yeah, did not.
Okay.
Yeah.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Newman.
Newman, and where did
Newman
you go?
went to
man?
De La Salle, so right down the street.
Very
Yeah.
close.
Close,
Yeah,
but we
yeah,
did not.
So do
blocks
those-
away.
do
Did
those
not
kids-
know. We probably know some of the same people.
sure we do.
guessing.
Do
Yeah.
those kids date each other and so on? When you're in high school?
Yes, I
Given that
I don't
you're
know
right.
anyone dating. Yeah. It was more Ursuline and Dominican.
I went
who
to
the guys from.
Dominican.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
20 years
Okay,
ago.
okay.
Same 20 years.
Where did
Okay,
you
same
go?
20 years?
Dominican.
Dominican.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, Zach, is this the cue?
Oh, I dropped out halfway through 10th grade.
Did you really? Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. I went to Jesuit for a year, and then Chalmette High for half a year.
Yeah.
And then quit.
Chalmette.
And how
Yeah.
how were you allowed to quit? Did your parents not care?
There was a clause about dropping out of high school underage due to mental illness.
Oh, I see.
I am the.
And you qualified.
Yes, that's.
So you're
that is
allowed
correct.
to you're
I'm so
allowed to
glad
drop out of high
We're
school.
at this table.
Yeah.
I am.
Thank God April's here to save you.
No, not at all.
What do you mean
But
not
I
at all?
love
It's,
you.
why
You know,
not?
hey,
Not at all.
other people
I
might
think you're mentally perfect.
Thank you. I was going to say other people might think that your job sounds made up, but I know it's not.
Yeah.
I know it's real.
I love you.
It's very real. It's very real.
What's the definition of mentally ill in Chalmette? That's a difficult one.
Mental
Yeah,
illness.
right.
I know,
Yeah.
I
I was
don't
about to ask who was
understand.
classified
I don't
with a mental
understand.
illness. Was it you or was it the Chalmette
Yeah.
High School? Yeah, there just needed to be a separation of that relationship. Yeah.
I don't know.
Was that a
I
diagnosis?
was in a GED class at one point because I did get that. I did
just
get the
having
GED.
fun with Chalmette. Yeah,
And
come on.
I went to sleep because the professors were like, "You
better off
got
asleep."
this.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go to do whatever you
Take
want."
time out.
And I
relax.
woke up one day and I had a piece. There were balls of paper all around my feet. You know, they had been like the
Like
other
you're
kids in the
throwing
GED classes. These like tough guys that have been taking the GED over and over for like 5 years. Some of them, but super tough and cool. You know, and I just had a pile of paper balls and then a piece of paper taped to my back that said, "I suck bird."
Bird.
So that's meant to
Bird.
be bird shit that was all around you.
Well, which is just slang for a cock, I guess.
Right.
But I love that story because, they really got one on me, and some of them might still be trying to get their GED right now.
Probably.
And I was in and out like a
So
bolt
you,
of lightning.
so you left because you had mental illness issues, and then you went
I
back.
used that as an excuse, but I
Smarter than the others.
What did you do when you
got
dropped out? Did you go get a job or?
No, I started just wandering the quarter, and sometimes playing guitar for tips.
It's like Kane in Kung Fu, sort of, but
You're right.
in the corner.
Yeah.
So you look
All
like
right,
a gutter punk.
Yeah, no, I didn't really look like a gutter punk, no. But I wandered the quarter. I played guitar for tips. I made the most money when sometimes there would be another street performer that would, I guess, think I was cute and just let me play next to them.
What are you,
and then
15
split,
or something?
14? 16 at the time.
16.
Wow,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
But and they'd let me play next to them and then split their tips with me. Like we both made it, which is just them being nice. I was terrible.
You're okay.
know?
Were you?
They're
Yeah, but they were really
sharing.
sweet people. Yeah,
What did you play? You played the guitar, obviously.
yeah. I just
What
played
sort?
originals, all
pretty cool.
very bad at that point.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool at 16 to be dropped out of school and then finding
It's-
your way in the world by playing the guitar on the French choir. That's pretty romantic sounding stuff. Actually.
It is, but then it's
I love
almost
it.
it's almost like you like I also watched all the other people that I know like kind of go down a path that was more comfortable and more like recognizable to me, and my life seemed like alien all the time.
To you-
So for a
to
long
you
time, I was
yourself.
like, I don't know what is happening. This is like
Well, that's
scary.
actually pretty normal at 16, though.
Sure.
Nobody knows what's happening.
But I mean, but a lot of people, there's a track, I
Right.
mean, like
Well,
you're
you're
going to
walking a
graduate high
well-worn
school,
path,
you're going to go to
yeah.
college, and
Right.
and people do that stuff. And I was like, I think both parts. I knew that I couldn't do that, and I didn't have that in me, and also that terrified me. At the same time.
But that wasn't your path. You have this one.
I guess so.
They're
Well,
on their path, and
this
they might
one-
not entirely be happy, and you are. So this is
I don't
like-
know if I would call myself entirely happy. And
Not if
this
you're scared
path
to leave
started.
the house, I
Well,
wouldn't
if you're
say.
entirely happy,
No.
you're never pushing yourself forward.
Well, right.
Yeah.
What else
Yeah.
would there
In
be
terms
to
of-
do?
There's gotta-
Well,
there's
I
gotta
think
be
in
some
terms of
adversity
being
there.
creative, and
Sure.
I think
Yeah.
But this path only started 3 years ago. I mean, there was a whole near decade lost to
What were you?
lost
Or found.
Maybe,
You found
right.
the decade
Wandering.
because now you're able to use that as your inspiration for what you're doing now.
Yeah, and I saw
For
and
creativity.
experienced beautiful things.
Great.
Oh,
And those
oh,
other
yeah.
people didn't. You know,
What did you
it's
do?
amazing.
What did
That's
you
not
do?
necessarily- It's just different.
You don't know what they did.
What did you do for 10 years? Drugs?
Drank.
Mostly drink. Was it alcohol?
I never messed with drugs. I watched a lot of friends get really into heroin, and the stuff creeped me out.
Yeah.
well, now
lost-
you've got a bit older. Would you like to try it?
Yeah. Now that do you have any
All right,
on
Matt-
hand?
Matthew-
I'm ready.
I
Matthew
could pull
brought
off
some.
what they could in there. Yeah.
Matthew is a professor at Delgado, so you probably could get your hands on some heroin.
And some heroin at Delgado?
Yeah, don't-
No,
In the
not to
chem
my
lab?
knowledge. In the chem lab? Yeah,
Don't they-
Walter White.
don't
Yeah.
they- isn't that who's doing heroin? Is the kids, the college kids?
I don't know where the heroin resurgence is
You don't
coming
know
from.
where
It's
it
not
comes
the
from.
opiates.
Man,
It's
that
usually
Delgado
in-
heroin is
The Delgado
good.
heroin is, yeah. We put the science to it, yeah.
So
It's
Delgado
a
is
cleaner
a-
tactics, cleaner...
It's the sports team, right? The Delgado
sports team.
heroin.
It's yeah.
That's a good name for your dog.
Right.
The other dog.
Delgado
heroin.
Delgado and heroin. Thin for a reason, yeah.
I'm
I know.
writing
It's
it
always
down
it's
as
always
well.
the heroin that's hiding in plain sight that's going to be the best, right?
That's
like
right.
Old Walter White there.
Well, I wouldn't
yeah.
know where to buy it, actually. Do you know where to get it?
Do I know where to get? No, I'm afraid I don't. Yeah.
No?
Sorry. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
You're afraid you don't. I don't, and I am
Oh, I'm not
afraid
afraid
of it.
I don't. But yeah, just
You
use
mean in the sense of I'm
polite
sorry.
No, sure.
I'm
Yes.
sorry I don't.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how did you get to be teaching at Delgado? You were living...
Long story, actually. Yeah.
A long story. We have time.
Long
We need
story,
another
yeah.
drink?
Well, another cocktail would be great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
you got to pay for it though.
I do have to pay for it.
Yeah, the
so-
good thing about Wayfare is they'll buy us one round of drinks, and then after that, we're on our own.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So
I'm gonna
Good thing.
that's how they get you hooked.
Good
man.
thing you're
Yeah.
drinking cheap
They
Budweiser.
give you the first hit for free. And then
That's how they get you. It's like the heroin
we do a
deal.
heroin at Delgado. We give them the first.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, thanks. Oh, can we get one more?
Can we
Something?
give them more of those?
Yeah, another.
Come on over.
Rocks and
It's
tonic?
okay.
Yeah.
All right,
do
cool.
one more. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you got to
But,
stop
we
talking.
could-
I feel
you
like
don't-
you're going to get yourself in trouble.
Oh,
pretty soon.
yeah.
No,
The
no one
views-
believes
the
that.
views and opinions expressed are all unjust. They do
Yeah,
not
it's right.
reflect those of our
But,
institution.
but Delgado's a community college, right?
Correct.
And you came back here to teach at Delgado.
No,
Or
I
did you
came
come back here anyway?
I came back from Egypt actually to finish my master's degree, and so my wife could finish her degree at Tulane University.
Right.
So we were one of these many couples that got Katrinaed out of the city. Thought we'd be gone for a few weeks, and we ended up being gone for 3.5 years.
You
So-
could
I've
train
never
to
actually heard
Egypt.
anybody use it as a
You went to
Yeah,
Egypt.
went to
here?
Egypt.
Evacuated to Cairo.
All
That
the way
is
to Cairo.
You went
so
the furthest of everyone that I know.
I've never heard
that
anyone say
I
they
know.
evacuate to
Yeah,
Cairo.
yeah.
I
Right.
love that.
Well, thank you. It was it was a journey, and it's kind of when I was finishing up my BA in West Virginia, I wanted to be a writer. I mean, my dream in high school at De La Salle was to go to California, surf, and write screenplays. I went to Appalachia instead, and studied creative writing. But near the end of my BA, I really became fascinated with international politics and everything that was happening in the Middle East.
Neat.
Right.
But I was kind of talking about tracks. I was already on that track to finish the degree. I couldn't break it open and go on a different path. So finished the BA. We come to New Orleans, which my wife had fell in love with the year previous.
You'd fall in love with her already.
Yes.
Sometime when you were an
She was
undergraduate.
an exchange student from Spain, and we
Oh,
hit
that's
it
a
off.
good story too.
Yeah.
This is just as good as dropping out of school.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah. So she's
Fell in
she's
love
from
with an exchange
Valencia,
student from
Spain
Spain.
and Morgantown, West Virginia, of all
Wow.
places.
Morgantown.
Yeah. Oh, you know it, man.
Yeah.
Old Motown. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's about an hour from Pittsburgh.
Some of the best food I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are this on the road in the band?
Yeah. We're
Like-
going to Spain, too.
Oh, you're going to Spain? Really? Where are you going?
in July. I don't remember.
Yeah.
If I had to
I may be there
organize-
in July.
Really?
Actually, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
your
No, my wife and
eye
kids
on
go
your
back
hand?
all summer, every summer, and I usually go back for a couple weeks.
You can get backstage at the Pears
so-
concert.
So that'd be awesome. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get a photo of that, Alison. Did you
But
see that?
no. But anyway, this is about 15 years ago now. We come back and she starts at Delgado. I'm sorry, she starts at Tulane.
Right.
And
Starts what at Tulane?
PhD in
Okay.
Spanish literature, and I went into the wine business. I needed work, and I went down to Martin Wine Cellars and started just as the stock crew for the holidays.
So you're
and-
putting bottles on the shelf at Martin Wine Cellar while your
Yeah.
wife's doing a PhD in
Right,
Spanish
right.
literature.
taking
Yes,
them
while
off.
she's
That's
analyzing
awesome.
the influence of the Maquis and post-Franco Spain and all this really
Okay.
highbrow intellectual stuff. And yeah, and I'm
That's pretty
stocking
fun.
shelves. And yeah, then they needed
I
a
like the
manager.
sound of it. Right.
Yeah,
So you
so
ended
I
up being
said,
a
hey, I
manager.
think I could do this management stuff. So I gave it a shot, and they hired me. And I was a wine manager there for 2 years, but then it got destroyed by Hurricane Katrina.
Right,
They-
it did.
yeah, a lot of people went different ways. So we decided to rebuild overseas. It's like we got family there, we got a base. Let's
Spain.
get in Spain.
Well, how
yeah.
did you get to Cairo then?
After Spain, teaching English there for a couple of years, I figured, well, let's give this kind of international politics thing a shot. So I'd come back to LSU to do some prereqs in international relations. I had some great professors there. This wonderful man named Harry Mokeba from Cameroon, who's still there, just a fantastic guy. And I said, look, I'm thinking about an MA in international relations. Where do I go? And he said, well, you go to D.C. or you go to the region that interests you. And I'm like, well, the Middle East.
Wow.
Middle East
Good idea,
seems
right?
like it's popping. Yeah. So I'll,
What year are we talking about?
maybe metaphorically and literally.
What year is this?
This is around 2007.
So this is before the whatever it was called. What was that called? Arab Spring.
This is before, but
Okay.
like right before the surge in Iraq or whatever. So
Okay.
the Iraq were kind of the height of those.
So the Iraq
those
War was
tensions.
going on.
Yeah.
And you're an American with a wife and family at this point? Or no
we
kids?
weren't married yet, no kids yet.
Okay, and so
yeah.
you decided to move as an American
to Cairo. Yeah,
Cairo. That's
and,
just sort of a pretty stupid idea, I would have thought.
it seemed like a great idea at the time, and
Didn't it
and
seem
turned out like,
did it seem dangerous? Or not?
No, actually, because Cairo was. I mean, we look at what's happening now in the Arab Spring, which I think has sadly become more of an Arab Chernobyl, so to speak,
right.
total meltdown. But at the time, Cairo was very stable in 2007.
So that was a safe
2008.
place to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was looking at there or Beirut. There was the American University in Beirut or the American University in Cairo, and I was a bit more interested in Beirut, but then that got not so safe. The Israelis and Hezbollah got into a dust-up one summer, and a lot of the city got flattened, so I didn't think my soon-to-be wife's family would be down with me bringing her to Beirut. So
Probably hard to find an
the next best
apartment
option was Cairo. Yeah. That pile of rubble over there, is that
That
for
was my
rent?
place,
Or,
yeah.
set up
So
a
you end
tent.
up in Cairo, okay.
And rebuild some blocks.
So how do you get a job? How do you
get?
get a job in Cairo? Do you have to apply for that outside?
Well,
Or do you wait
I
till you
just
get there
worked
and
through
just
academia.
go to the wine
I
store?
kind of hit the ground running. Yeah, no wine stores there, unfortunately. Or maybe some places, but this is a predominantly Muslim country, and they don't drink wine. So
really?
so yeah, I couldn't go back to selling wine in Cairo.
Did you get some hash? There's a lot of good hash.
Hash can be found in Cairo.
Yeah, but they don't have wine, but you
Yeah.
can get hash pretty easy.
Yeah, to each his own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To each
I'm all for it.
his own.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why you travel.
indeed.
So it's happy hour.
Right, but one of the professors was a guy on sort of sabbatical from the U.S. Institute of Peace, and I just went into his office. I'm like, "You need help? You need an assistant or anything like that?" And he said, "Actually, I do." So he took me under his wing and brought me to Jerusalem for like a peace conference between Israelis and Palestinian students.
Okay,
and,
so do you
learned a lot.
know anything about what's going on over there? Then more than the
Maybe
average person.
one
now?
or two things.
So you got a rough idea. So you could tell us what's happening there.
What's happening with what?
Is there ever
you're
gonna-
going to have to tighten the microscope.
Is there
like,
ever
like,
going to be?
because there's-
Is there ever going to be peace in the Middle East, in your opinion?
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
so
I think
what's
going to
have to happen?
I think, I don't think it's going to be pretty at all. I think, sadly, that the Middle East is in a place today where the European nation states were hundreds of years ago, the wars of religion and so on and so forth, and that it's probably going to take a lot of chaos for the people and their leaders. But mainly the people.
It couldn't be much more worse than it.
Oh
much
yeah,
more worse
well,
if that's English.
let's think.
It couldn't be
Europe first half of the 20th century.
I don't know
that
anything
kind
about
of
that.
scale.
What do you mean,
yeah.
like a world war type thing?
But
look what's happening.
on their
But look what's
scale,
happening in
yeah.
Syria now. It couldn't get any worse. Are you saying the whole of the Middle East is going to go like that?
I don't think it will, but I think it's. I'm afraid. I'm concerned that it's going to take sort of that level of tragedy
Well, what do
for
you
people
think-
to say we
what do you
need to
think-
fundamentally change the way we structure governments, the way we view political power, the way we view power in all relationships.
Well, is that ever going to happen? Really?
It happened in Europe. It happened elsewhere. I mean, it's easy to, I think, for people to throw up their hands and look at the Middle East and say, well, this fighting's been going on forever. The people over there, they'll never find peace. They'll never settle their differences. Europeans were slaughtering each other for thousands of years.
Were they?
Up until 1946, and in far greater numbers.
Really?
Far greater numbers. But through all that chaos, they found a way, bit by bit, to start bridging their differences. And it took them kind of, to kind of boil it down, but be frank, to look around and say, this is what this has gotten us. The way we compete, the way we politic with each other,
Right.
the uber nationalism. It's gotten us nothing but countries and a continent that looks like the moon. So we've got to be doing something different. And I'm concerned that may be what's necessary in many parts
Is
of the
for
Middle
it to
East.
get
Yeah,
worse.
Civilization
Yeah.
is always flux, though. I mean, that's
is,
really it.
right,
I mean,
yeah.
like, everything is... I mean, we were talking about neighborhoods earlier, but civilization is the same way. I mean, they rise and they fall. I mean, that's what empires do.
Right.
And I mean, and any... I mean, I don't know. I think that kind of applies to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right. No, absolutely. So,
Yeah.
So
How long are we going to have to
So
wait?
how long are we going to have to wait?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And what's gonna happen?
I'm not in the prediction business.
So there's
Yeah,
going to
that's-
have to be a conflagration, then, is what you're saying, for there to be peace in the Middle East.
Yeah, I think it
for
will.
Egypt
yeah,
and-
yeah.
and
I
how
think,
does
I
Israel-
think what,
does Israel
what a
have
lot of
problem-
the tactics being taken by the United States government, Trump. I mean, who knows? Let's see. He's going to be tweeting more than governing. But even under Obama, who I think had the best interests of the world and the people over there at heart, that it's a lot of Band-Aids on chest wounds, that they're addressing a lot of the symptoms and not the underlying
Well,
causes.
Obama
So-
didn't actually do anything in the Middle East, did he? We didn't actually go to war or stop or end a war or...
No, I mean he kind
Bomb
of took
anybody?
more of just a counterterrorism approach. It wasn't called a return to kind of the containment policies of pre 9/11, but sending in more troops into
Right.
Iraq, kind of fight ISIS and so on and so forth. But that again, I think that's
well,
just
you know
looking
something
at the
about
symptoms.
this. Then
So,
what's going to happen? Are we going to invade North Korea, or is that going to really happen?
I certainly hope not. Yeah.
Well, I
yeah.
know, but are we?
Yeah, but are we? No, I don't.
That's
No,
not
their,
gonna
think
their
we do.
army
That-
is like
yeah.
immense, and it's concentrated
And
too. It
it's-
would be,
well, and it's
insane,
also a
right?
nuclear power. I mean, you.
I mean,
there was
I'm
a
asking, I
long-standing
guess.
belief, up until the Cuban Missile Crisis, that governments are rational and always do the rational thing. But what people in the Kennedy administration learned, for example, is that people will be willing to bring the house down on their heads as a threat against aggression of an outside state, so to speak. And in this case, it was in the 60s. It was Castro who was willing to use nuclear weapons on the United States, even though it would have totally destroyed Cuba.
Right.
The response. So I don't think the generals or whoever is going to advise Trump or whoever, if things were to get worse with North Korea, to say let's go in, let's take them out, because they have the bomb and they could easily set one off in Seoul or their own country as a way to say, yeah, you're not coming in here. If you do
they're
this,
not-
there's going to be a mushroom cloud.
They're not going to bomb us, though, right?
No.
So what
Yeah.
do we care? We're just going to go in.
We'd lose a lot of people.
Do we
Right.
do we care about that either? That's just
Yeah.
what people do when they declare war.
Are we
You
talking
know?
about at the table? We or
Oh, no, we're the country.
yeah, I don't want anybody else to die.
The
but-
global.
No, but that's why you're not in politics.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Well, I think, but what you speak to, it's sort of a return to this unspoken cooperation, sort of like what the Soviets and the Americans of the Western powers had during the Cold War. That the sort of the mutually assured destruction. We can't nuke you, you can't nuke us. So we're going to manage this relationship in
How
other ways.
fucked up is that? That's how things work.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
mean,
way.
Right.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So never boring stuff. Yeah.
And this is what you teach the kids at Delgado?
We
When they're not all
don't get
fucked
too
up
into the
on
weeds of
heroin?
this stuff. Yeah.
Once they sober up?
When I'm not
not
working with the
shooting up.
Mexican cartels
Right.
and getting dropout
Well,
students.
Well, all your cheery information is enough to send anybody into a heroin addiction.
Goodness, yeah. Which is maybe
You
why
might
we
as
don't.
well. Yeah.
Maybe why I don't get into Middle East conflicts and some of my research focus over there. I don't want to bring the kids
Chem
down.
lab.
There's enough in life to be no. We focus on mainly on American government, the fundamentals of the American political system.
Well, that's
and
depressing as
giving-
well. That's worse,
yeah.
probably.
Maybe the
Self-interest.
landscape or certain people who are in power. Yeah, that's going to be deflating, to put it lightly.
That's what you teach?
But teaching students what their rights are, how the system works, how there are countless avenues to affect change in the system. That's a big part of what I try to teach, and
That's cool.
let them understand that the system we have is the system we have. If whether you like it, you hate it, you like some, hate other parts, it is a system built by people. Systems can be changed. It takes a lot of work.
We're
It takes
changing the
effort.
system right now in Washington. It's all
Right.
going to it's getting way better. We're going to get rid
think
of all
so?
the regulations. Yeah, it's going to be great. We're going to get rid of all the regulations so you can.
Somalia is a great model
so-
as a nation state. So
It's hard to believe
the
that people
libertarian
really think-
dream there. Yeah. No, I don't.
Well,
I
if
think
we
there's
use
a
the
lot
word
more,
libertarian, at least it would be something to hang all these stupid ideas on, rather than just
if
saying
you
don't
put
worry
that label
about
on
it.
it,
At least you've got like a cogent
put it under
argument.
an umbrella of some type of philosophy instead of just random
Right.
disorganized urges. So
Kat,
to
who
speak,
did you vote for, Kat?
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have a comb over. She doesn't have a comb over.
She
doesn't
there you
have
go.
What happened to Hillary, by the way? Where is she?
We need more, Kat. Can
Where
you know
is she?
that-
She's
Kat,
she's
are you
flying
paying
under the She's flying on the radar.
What's she going to do next, I wonder?
I don't.
Do you still get email from her?
I do.
What is she
I
saying?
still have my pressed white pantsuit
Ready to go.
and my pink taco costume from Crew de Vue.
Pink taco.
Cool.
You in Crew de Vue?
Yeah, I'm in Crew de Vue.
It
What-
took me a solid, how many, I don't know how long to figure out what a pink taco
Well,
was.
it's the year of the
now.
vagina.
Yeah, I understand
Yeah,
that.
that's-
So that's what
my
was
first
the
thoughts
icon
were
that
actually like,
emerged.
oh, a pink taco,
is
that's
that-
cute. It's like a taco. And
Is
it's
that on the
pink.
Chinese calendar? It's actually like the year of the
It's the
monkey,
year of the
the
pink
year
taco.
of the
It's the year of
dragon,
the pink
year of
taco.
the-
I got
Well,
it.
year of the
they
pink
talk
taco.
about
Okay.
pussy hat.
And the monkey. Yes.
Yeah.
And the pussy hat is
yeah.
talked about in the New York front page of the New
I
York
like
Times.
to look at things
now.
a little differently. Right?
Yeah. How's it going with Where Yard? Last time I saw you was when you just won the New Orleans Entrepreneur Week.
It's going.
Congratulations.
That was years ago.
We didn't
2000.
win. We didn't win. We won the popular vote. We won the popular
Don't
vote,
say
but
that.
didn't win the electoral college. So
It
that
happens.
was the
Yeah.
the two parties
awesome.
don't ever agree.
That's great.
So yeah, no, we've been doing great. We've grown from just less than 40 artists to over 100 New Orleans artists online, and we're really just trying to support, build, and sustain our local art community.
Is this your full-time job?
I hate to say that it's not.
Well,
it is
that's
a
okay,
labor.
'cause
It's
you're
a
allowed to
labor
have
of love.
two.
We are a
You're telling me-
for-profit.
You're telling me that there's not money to be made in art?
There will be. There is.
Wow.
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah.
No. I still have my graphic
I'm
design.
a believer, too. I'm right there.
Are you a graphic designer?
I am.
Okay.
I'm a
Well,
graphic.
that's art as well, isn't it?
It absolutely is art,
And that's
I think
a dying
that
gig, the graphic design
Well, I
world,
think
isn't
that
it?
we really understand. My partner and I were both artists, so we built this business from the perspective of artists, and I think that growing up in New Orleans, surrounded by art, and growing up looking at my mother and the struggles that she faced. Trying to put her art out
she
there.
was an
She
artist?
hid her work in her room, and I am very much, I'm an artist who doesn't like to promote their work, and I met my business partner at the Days Between festival. In between, of course, there's a festival
you need
between.
NLP.
Well, I really needed my business partner. I mean, that was 5 years ago, and she, the promoter of the event, we were doing it for the. It was a fundraiser for the music clinic, and they sold all the posters that night by promoting me as the artist. And I was like, "Who is this person sitting next to me? And what do we do?" And then years later, I had the idea for Where Art, and I, pretty much attacked her in front of DBA and said, "Colin, I think that we should do this together," and the rest is history.
What?
And
Yes.
the last three letters of heart are A-R-T.
I do know that. I do
And
know that.
that is like where it all comes from is right there.
You have your work cut out for you at this table, April. You can make a living out of this just here.
Thank God.
Do you really didn't have the confidence
love
to
it.
put your art on a frame and put it outside?
It was I was designing posters for the event, and no, I just didn't,
You didn't think of yourself as an artist.
I didn't think of myself as an artist,
Right.
and Colin really, brought that out in me at the show, and we're able to relate to the artists that are on our platform and really help them brand their work and put them into a space that they can.
So how does it work if I'm a New Orleans artist? You put my stuff online.
We do. We're
Something
out.
like an online gallery.
We're out on the streets, finding the underground talent and bringing them to a place where they can be found by people that love New Orleans art. I mean,
Really?
the Where Art really is. What we're trying to do is build a solution for local art communities, and that really starts as a tool for a virtual art lover to be able to actually go on to Where Art and discover New Orleans artists and then actually find them on the ground while they're here. So it actually is a direct link to an artist studio space or an artist gallery or an artist, art market. It really does bring people into the neighborhoods where art is being created.
So it's not intended for me to buy it off the internet. It's
You actually
intended to
can. People
send
thought
me.
we were crazy by we direct into Cray. By directing to places where artists were selling their work. But again, our model works with volume, and so we're trying to be a solution for local art communities. So
Right.
that's why we're paying low dollars now, but eventually, we believe in what we're doing, when you go to whereyourart.net, you're able to search local art community by city.
So you're not just in New Orleans?
We are just in New Orleans now, but we're in the early stages of scaling to Nashville.
Oh, so you're going to Nashville or National?
Nashville,
Tennessee.
yeah.
Okay.
Already slurring? Am I slurring?
No, that could just be me. Don't worry about it.
I'm curious. Okay,
We can all
so
start slurring too, though. Just
I remember being, this was weeks ago or maybe even months ago, because I don't remember after that one cocktail, but I was in Frenchman Street, and you have a gallery there, don't you? Or you have...
Our galleries, we have a physical gallery across the street from the art bar, which is very convenient for a crisis situation.
That is
There's the art crisis.
I saw a bunch of beautiful things that were in the window. I was like, oh, look, it's Where You Art, from...
That's us.
Perfect.
But we are
Is
an
that
art.
your
We are
one
an
gallery right now?
We are an art tech startup, so it's very important that the tool that we create is online, and that is really where the interaction occurs. Like we're talking about making art accessible to people. You know, I think we're talking to our customers, and really their art is intimidating. We hear from our people, like, you know, you walk into a gallery and maybe you get Pretty Womaned, or maybe like
You get Pretty
because
Womaned?
you know what I mean. The
No.
salesperson like snubs you because you can't afford the work on the wall. You know, and
we got someone in the wine business. I remember years ago.
And
people are intimidated.
and I think
by
that
going
it's
into a
really
wine shop
alienated
there.
a lot
Right.
of people that
By the-
that love art or
Yeah.
that are interested in art.
I have customers for you. I was just with them the other day,
So
and
we-
they're looking for local artists, so I'm going to send them over to you.
So please
Yeah,
do. That would
I
be
will.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did the art on your hands here? Zach?
On my
your
hands?
arms. On your hands? Zach has eyes tattooed on the palms of his hands. On both.
The eyes on my hands were done by Jason.
The Jason.
Art,
Jason.
art by Jason.
No name. Jason, no name.
Art by
And then-
Jason.
My friend Jason.
Yeah.
And then around
Cairo.
around this arm, there appears to be like tin cans
Yeah.
with
Oh, the old
string.
telephone.
It's a
looks like
stick
that.
and poke. That was my friend Callie.
Callie did that.
Yes.
Is that tin cans with string?
Yeah.
Is that
That
telephone?
is really fun.
Like, hello.
That's
Hello,
exactly
Yeah.
I'm always
It's
here.
like
Right.
when you were kids.
This one.
I love that.
Oh, what's that? I
The
can't
the
see
story
it.
behind
So
that one?
is
What
she
the
a
hell
New
is
Orleans
that,
artist?
Callie?
Yeah.
Yes.
So wouldn't it be cool if you were able to find her online and then actually discover her online and then actually find her and get a tattoo here in New Orleans?
yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
Absolutely it would.
What does that say?
Definitely.
It's words that are crossed out. I can't-
Cash, keys, and kill.
Oh wow.
Right. All right. So I saw this cop show on like True TV or Court TV or whatever it is, and there were these two young girls that killed their parents. Right. But one of them had written this list on their wrist, and
Really?
yeah.
Yeah, they planned it all out. Wow.
And I heard that, and I was like, I love that. But they
keys,
didn't
kill.
cross anything out. That was my creative addition.
Meaning that you've got that taken care of.
Yeah, got that
the cash,
taken care of. Got the cash, got
keys.
the keys.
And then you phoned your
No.
friend, and she said, "Don't do it." And she said,
I haven't killed anybody yet.
"With
Should we
kindness."
be-
I mean, you look at those words
Dude,
there, and
kill
you wonder
the
if it's
kindness
rhetoric.
like the meaning is this like a don't forget list for those kids? Like, don't forget the cash.
Yeah.
Don't
that's-
forget
that's
your
what it is.
keys,
That's
which
what it is.
we often do. We often forget those things. Put money in our pocket or our keys before we leave. And don't forget to kill the parents.
Well, who
What-
was
what
that
else
guy
am I
that really
forgetting?
happened?
Oh,
There was a
yeah,
guy
look at
here that
that.
did that.
You can't-
Remember that guy?
They
Jason.
need to go.
He
Yeah.
was a sports reporter on WWL TV or something. You remember this? And
What? No, I don't
and he
remember this.
and he drove. He killed his wife in the parking lot of
Oh,
a
that's
building
nice.
on Metairie Road.
Oh, yeah.
You know that?
Yikes.
What was this guy's name? Remember this? Is it coming back to anybody yet? The story.
No.
The story, yeah.
And,
I remember.
and then he
yeah.
got on his
It's
bicycle and he rode back to his house. And this guy was like well known to everybody because he was a sports reporter on television. He's been here for years and years and years.
Oh,
Stephen
goodness.
McMurder.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
You're listening to Stephen McMurder on sports.
And then he
Right,
got
right.
on his bike
Was
and
that
rode his
his
bike
name?
back to his house.
Might be what he's known in his cell block now. So, but, yeah.
And then at his house, when they went back to his house,
The grown man riding
he
a bike
had a
in Metairie.
list. He had a list of things that he had to remember.
Right, yeah.
Including
Yeah,
just
right.
basically
Kill
like
the
this list
wife.
that's tattooed
Yeah.
on your wrist, basically.
Kill
yeah.
the
yeah,
wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cell
Make
phone,
sure
cash.
there's air in the bike
Yeah.
tires or something like that.
That's
so you
how
don't get
they-
a flat when you
that's how they got him, and now he's in jail.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Backup.
So,
Good.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that no one can remember that dude's name.
I
He
don't
was-
I can't
remember.
remember.
It wasn't that long ago.
I don't
Yeah.
remember.
He
But
was
no,
famous.
I remember this from years ago. Yeah,
Do you
and it's like,
remember this?
that guy? Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely remember the story. Yeah, just so bizarre.
No recollection of
I don't
this.
know.
You
What
know, and
channel
he
was
used
he
to.
on?
He did.
I think Channel 4, and he used to wear like a wig apparently, because then all these mug shots with,
Well, he
with him
was a sports guy, right? Did
Yeah,
we establish-
it's a sports
he did
reporter.
like sports broadcasts.
Thomas
Maybe he
will
was
know.
the
I don't know.
color guy.
Thomas
I'll
doesn't
leave it
know
back in
either.
New
The
Orleans.
color guy at baseball games or something. Like,
Me?
Grayson,
it's
Grayson has it.
yeah.
Vince Marinello?
Vince Marinello. Vince Marinello. Thank you,
Oh
Grayson.
my God!
Grayson
I
Jernigan.
remember that name. I mean, I guess I heard that name.
You were
Yeah.
really close.
Yeah.
It's a great story, other than the poor wife who died, but
Yeah.
the stupidity, the stupidity of the list was what was so great.
Right.
Yeah.
So, have you finished getting tattoos now, or are you?
No.
Do you have more to go?
No, I'm going to get some more, but I don't know what they are yet.
Right. You don't have stuff like on a list of your own.
No, I don't.
A vision. 5 minutes and we have to get out of here. Okay, we've got 5 minutes.
All right.
What are we supposed to do in the next 5 minutes? Kat, did you come here to say anything? Do you have anything
Well,
lined up?
we are having 2 art parties this week. During French Quarter Fest, I know there's a lot going on, but we are having a
Not
show.
for me. I'm not doing anything. Are you guys doing anything for French Quarter Fest?
I'm going to Kat's party.
We're having.
Okay,
We
Kat's
do
party.
really have fun.
Yeah,
We do
throwing
really
a-
have
yeah.
2 fun parties.
Two fun
the
parties,
first
all right.
one is at the Old Number 77 Hotel in Chandlery. It's going to be tomorrow night between 8 and 10:30.
Okay, so just
curated.
wait up a minute here before we go any further. Oh, curated by
It's
her.
curated by DJ Soul Sister.
Oh, that's cool.
Melissa
Oh,
Weber.
Very cool.
All
And
right.
it's really it's really all about music and culture. And I think that it engages the music lover and brings them into a space where they can enjoy the art and actually interact with it. We're having the urban cellist. I don't know if you know him. He's an electric cello player. He beatboxes. He's going to be
Cool.
playing at the
Okay.
event.
Wow.
And
That's a nice
what
matchup
day?
there.
What
Yeah.
date is this?
Cello and
It's Thursday.
beatbox?
It's tomorrow night.
Thursday
That's
the what?
Part 1.
Hang on, Thursday the what date will that
What
be?
is tomorrow? The 6th.
So Thursday the 6th of April, 2017.
Correct.
So if you're listening to this after Thursday the 6th of April, 2017, which most people will be, by the
Given
way.
the year, what are you going to shoot
Yes,
this
yes.
episode in a
Yes.
space to see
Yes,
if anybody
this
will
is going.
find it?
This is going in a time capsule.
The Martians are going to be
It's going
getting
to
this.
Mars.
That sounds
Yeah.
like an awesome.
This was 2000.
We missed it, man.
Yeah, just missed it by a century. That's all. But people do listen to these shows for years later. So and
Sure.
we get notes from people
time
like,
capsule.
"Fuck you! I went to go to that thing and it wasn't there," and you'd be surprised.
That's
so
the
Let's talk again in
funniest.
5
so then what's the next one?
So the next one, the second part, is at our gallery space in the Marini, and
Across
it's
from the R Bar.
correct, across from the R Bar, and it is going to be from 7 to 9:30, and then we have an after party at Soul Sisters Saturday Hustle at the Hi Ho.
So you're totally in with DJ Solstice
Well,
somehow.
we have a team member of ours, Pam Blackman, who has been working with Soul Sister for a while on the crew of King James and the Delusion Parade, and they're actually having a good football on Friday night. So she's
it's
been
like
helping.
a foreign language.
There's a lot.
Going on here in
There's
New Orleans,
there's
yeah.
a lot happening this
There
weekend.
is.
I mean,
Yeah.
between French Quarter Fest and all of the things that we have going on, there's just stick your head in and say hello.
Okay.
Springtime in New Orleans,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, there's always something going on. Yeah.
And if I want to buy some art after that, or if I just go onto what's called wearyart.net.
Wearyart.net.
Why didn't you buy wearyart.com?
Well, we do have it now.
Oh, you had
But
to get that?
We had to get it.
Congratulations,
Thank
by the
you.
way.
Thank you.
On-
We
on
did
the
have
.com.
we did have to get it. Yeah. It was
Who had it?
a woman named Jean Nathan. She's the head of Cano.
Uh-huh.
And she let it go after a while. So we ended up
You didn't have
purchasing
to
it.
spend a fortune to get it?
We didn't.
Oh, that's very
thankfully.
nice of her. All right.
Thankfully, yes,
All
we
right.
did not.
Hey, do you have a website, Matthew?
Do
Are
I
you-
personally?
people-
No,
Are
no,
you
I don't know
Doctor?
what's that.
Are you Dr. Snyder?
I'm not a doctor. No, I didn't go for the PhD. Yeah.
So how do you get
after-
to be a professor without a PhD? Do you have to publish
no,
stuff?
A master's degree. Yeah. Well, we're not a research institution, so we're focused mainly on addressing the needs and interests of the immediate community here in New Orleans. So whatever their academic needs are, if it's an associate's degree, if it's building on that,
Okay.
if it's a nursing program, a technical degree, if it's
But you're
transferring
teaching
to another
political
school.
science.
Yeah, so a lot of criminal justice students, people want to go into law enforcement or law in general, having a fundamental understanding of how the
And are
government
your
works.
students
I
just
come in
as
there.
are
Yeah.
your students just as intelligent as students at Tulane and Loyola?
Absolutely, yeah, and some of them more intelligent. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So you're not-
I absolutely love teaching at Delgado. I mean, I had no plans to go into teaching when we came back from Egypt, but the chips fell where they may. The recession happened.
What do you want to do?
They
You want to
needed
stay there
teaching.
forever, or you have a plan? Plans to...
I mean, I love teaching. I love the scholar practitioner sort of career that I really saw up close and personal overseas. People who work in academia and teach for a while, and then they go off and they work in development or politics or elections or government agency. And then
Would you
then
like to be
after
involved
that,
in just-
after they get jaded and burnt
Right.
out by whoever's running things, then they just say, okay, I'm going to go back and teach and help the youth
Okay.
and
Well, would you
put
like to
some
be-
faith in the next generation.
Would you like to be involved in
Maybe
destroying the Middle East and bringing world peace?
No, I would not. No,
Hairy
no.
question.
I would think
yeah.
that would be a noble thing to do if you really
no,
believe it.
I
has
do
to
not
be
want to be the
destroyed.
flamethrower. Yeah. No,
Wouldn't that
no,
be
I
the
mean,
right thing to do, though, giving that you have all this knowledge.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it be
I
the
mean-
responsible thing to go over there and start the conflagration so that we
The
could have world
conflagration,
peace?
yeah.
Would that be a mental illness?
To be clear,
Isn't
yeah,
this-
I
isn't-
don't think it'll definitely happen. I'm afraid that it might be
okay.
necessary.
Isn't
Yeah,
this
so
like an
I'm hoping
ethical
you can have the
quandary? I mean, like,
conversation.
That's like a
The
thing,
conversation
right?
hopefully would be enough. Yeah,
Well,
this is heading towards
What's
kind of
the-
Europe, early 20th century. Let's try and fix things now. But go ahead, man.
No, I'm sorry. What's the thing where it's like you have to kill somebody to save, a lot of people, or you don't kill anyone and a lot of people die? What's that ethical?
The
like,
moral dilemma, the moral relativism.
Yeah,
that thing. Yeah,
That's-
kill one to save a million.
Right, yeah.
Or if you don't, millions will perish.
Sure,
type
yeah,
thing.
yeah. That's
Yeah, I hope no.
Basically, my
I hope
question.
no.
I just
Yeah.
wanted somebody
the better,
to
the
say
better
those
path.
things
I
to me,
think
'cause I forgot what it
is
was.
like intense self-reflection for people there and people here to get away from kind of the paradigms and some of the language and say
Love
what's
more.
happening is not working. Love more. Love your
more.
neighbor more.
Okay, let's
Love
Power
yourself.
is not an absolute concept. Yeah, we need to change. So,
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
What about killing Trump?
Uh,
Yes or no?
somebody-
Yes or no
I
question.
think that would be unwise.
Actually, it would be unwise.
Yeah.
I hate the guy, but that would be not smart.
yeah. These
you can't even
presidents
do
roll
that.
with a lot of security, so I don't see anyone pulling that off.
Okay. Don't try that. Don't try this at home.
Also-
yeah, don't try.
Okay,
to
all
Why
right.
martyr that man?
It'd be a martyr.
I just mean if you want to kill someone to
yeah.
save millions, that would be the
Save
person.
millions,
I don't think
That
so.
might be the person.
I think we have
To
to
start
let
with.
him fail.
Yeah,
I
and I
honestly-
think he's on the path to that, to killing himself
Yeah,
politically and
yeah.
professionally. The
Most
incompetence that people have warned about seems to be taking over. I mean, to be the chief agent of the apocalypse takes some type of competence. I mean, you've got to have a team who knows what they're doing.
You think he can't pull that off?
Instead of
saying
an
that
organization that doesn't believe in government,
Right.
led by a guy whose mind is sort of like a balloon with the air let out of it. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
So we're not in any danger. Don't worry about it. So you're saying
Well,
that's
I mean, chaos
that's an
presents
upbeat-
its own danger, but for like apocalyptic type fascism, dystopian, all that takes a degree of competence which he and
Okay,
his team
so-
clearly do not have.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
think
that's
this-
his
So yeah, he's
uplifting
bringing
end
that.
to the conversation.
He's
don't you
bringing
think?
the house down on himself, which for a lot of people, I think that may be uplifting. It's like, oh God,
Yeah.
it's not going to be the stormtroopers and something out of Children
Right.
of Men.
Yeah,
or,
right.
Yeah, it's going to be this guy. It's going to be buffoonery. It's going to be the closeout music
So we
from
might
Curb
as
Your
well-
Enthusiasm is going to be the
Okay,
demise of.
so we can just
Yeah.
sit back and
I think
enjoy
the
it.
social-
That's what you're saying. Despite the fact that the Supreme Court's going to be...
it's like trying to enjoy something while getting punched in the face. I think,
Yes.
for a lot of
We
people,
can enjoy
if
the
you-
comedy for sure.
comedy, yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely.
And just
Yeah,
don't worry
yeah.
about the Supreme Court.
Or you should worry.
the next
Yeah,
50 years.
Be active.
Well-
Yeah, no, don't rest on laurels because it's
But enjoy the
outside
music.
pressure helps.
All
But
right.
yeah.
Okay,
But
April, if we
yeah.
want to get some Neuro Linguistic Programming, where do we go? Where do we find you?
You can go to aprilstolf.com. It's
STOLF.
STOLF.com. Yes.
All right, I'll write that
You
down.
can go there. You can see if you want any yoga, if you want any life coaching. You can get my book. It's the Art and Science of Success.
You wrote a book?
Yes,
Are
I'm
you kidding?
I'm a
You
contributing
waited till
author.
the very end of the show to tell us that. The Art and Sciences of Success.
Yes, you could get it at my website too.
Geez, I might have to do that. Is it guaranteed to work?
It works.
It's totally guaranteed.
Totally works for success. Any
Wow.
kind of
The
success.
Art and
but I'll help
Science
you
of-
more.
You know what? That is a great
But
title.
you're doing a great job.
But that is a great title. Isn't that a great title? The Art and Science of Success. You need to
Oh,
get
yeah.
a speaking
It is-
tour
it
going
is
on.
The
absolute-
art
it
and
absolutely
science.
Yes, we've got
The
that.
art and science.
political
We
science.
have it all.
Tried-
We
Tried
have
and
it
true
all.
tested
Yes,
tactics.
you made it.
Yeah.
And the name of the band,
We all made it on your
The
show.
the name
Chris.
of New Orleans, the New Orleans premier punk band is the Pears, just like the fruit.
That's right.
And you can steal that right off of Spotify and everywhere, right?
Yeah,
no
yeah.
worries.
Google Pears the band. Don't Google Pears. It's a waste of time. Pears the band.
Pears the band,
Yeah,
okay.
Pears the band.
Google that.
Okay.
And
There's a new
wherever-
album out.
Yes, there's a new. Oh, it's still kind of new. Green Star, and wherever you are, we're playing soon. We play all
You're
over
all
the world.
over the place,
so-
all over the world.
Yeah.
So no matter where you are in the world, listen to
Spain
this.
in
Yeah, we'll
July.
be there.
Yeah, looking
Yeah.
forward to it, man. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
check
cool.
out the dates. There
Okay.
is a chance.
Look it
I
up.
can be there.
I don't know.
I shall.
If
No,
I
it
was in
sounded
charge
great
of our
earlier.
dates, we wouldn't do
gotta
anything.
outsource
Well, you
it.
guys
Yeah.
could
Yeah,
actually
different
call us
job.
from
The tour
Spain.
manager handle all that.
Okay,
Yeah,
hey,
DIY,
thank you.
delegate it yourself.
Thanks to Basics Swim and Gym, where you can get a full range of fashion, swimsuits, workout, and yoga clothes with style, including bikinis, one piece, and everything you need for poolside or beachwear this summer.
Perfect.
It's on Magazine Street, right next to Basics Lingerie. And also thanks to Hangover Destroyer, the only all-natural product medically proven to prevent a hangover, which might be useful. If you go to the Hangover Destroyer website, it's hdestroyer.com, and you write the words happy hour and the coupon code, you'll get 30% off of your first order of Hangover Destroyer. And you too can seize the dawn. So how about that? Thank you very much to Kat Todd, who's been here with us, Matthew Snyder, April Stolf, and Zach Quinn from the band The Pears. That's
you.
been
Thank
Happy
you
Hour
so much.
for another week.
Great
Thank
time.
you very much,
Yeah.
everybody. The producer of our show is Graham DePonte. Our music director is Christian Unruh, and our music producer is Jean Valois. Thomas Walsh is our technical director, and our live feed directors right here on Facebook Live are Asher Griffith and Grayson Jernigan. And our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show and you can stay upright for about an hour while drinking cocktails, drop us a line. Our address is on our website, it's neworleans.com. We can find many other hours of Happy Hour, as well as some other shows we make here, including Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti live from Commander's Palace, and True to the Game with the fabulous Chris True Midnight Menu, Louisiana Eats with Poppy Chocamilo's Music Parlor, and as well as Death the podcast about death with Dr. Arian Alfant. You can also find other great Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and itsbatonrouge.la. You can keep up with us on Facebook and on Twitter and Instagram and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well. And all of it, we're called It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and on our Facebook page. The photos are taken today by Alison Moon. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast app, thanks for subscribing to us. You know, we have thousands and thousands of subscribers. I just found that out this week, actually. It's sort of unreal. So thank you very much for subscribing to us. Take a moment to rate and review us if you can. That helps other people find us as well. Our show is recorded live today at Wayfare on Ferret Street in Uptown New Orleans. Happy Hour is a production of INO Broadcasting. For itsneworleans.com, Andrew Duhon is away making a record. You can find out more about him at andrewduhon.com. For him, in his absence, from everyone around the table here at Wayfare and back at our office at INO Broadcasting, thanks for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. I'll see you back here next week for more Happy Hour.
Let's be honest, there are tons of ways to send money back home, and every company promises me the same things: good rates and safe transfers. That's why it can be overwhelming to choose a new way to send money. I switched to Remitly because I can track my money every step of the way, which means I know exactly when my mom will get her money. And with their extensive payment network, my mom can receive her money in a way that is more convenient and safe for her. You should check it out. Go to Remitly.com or download their app to get started. Remitly Inc. is a licensed money transmitter by the state of New York, California, Massachusetts, and other states.